Hello and welcome to Parents Guide to Games. My name is Stefan, and if you please like, share, and subscribe. Here are the games coming week of June 8th, 2021.
The first game on today's list is Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. This is coming on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. The rating is mature. The content descriptions: blood and gore, intense violence, partial nudity, strong language, and suggestive themes. This is a compilation of 3 action games in which players assume the role of Ryu Hayabusa and his companions through a series of adventures. As the players traverse various locations, they use swords, axe assists, and throwing stars to kill human enemies and fantasy creatures in frantic melee-style combat. Some attacks result in decapitation and/or dismemberment of enemies, often from a close-up perspective. Large bloodstains and severed torsos can be seen on the ground. A handful of sequences depict additional acts of intense violence. A character impaled through the chest with a sword and spikes, slow-motion depictions of characters getting dismembered, a character decapitating a human minion resulting in large blood splatter effects. Female characters are usually depicted wearing outfits with exposed cleavage. Some characters' breasts jiggle when exaggerated management during the combat and cutscenes. In one scene, a female character emerges from a dark pool with streaks of blood on her body. Her breasts and buttocks are briefly visible before she transforms into a boss demon. Swear words can be heard in the dialogue. The next game on our list is Game Builder's Garage. This is coming on Nintendo Switch. The rating is F1. The content descriptions: mild fantasy violence. Programming made fun with the help from the minds of Nintendo. Kids can learn how to make their own games with guided lessons created by Nintendo. From a simple game of tag to a run and jump obstacle course, each lesson is broken down into multiple manageable segments that let kids go at their own pace and have fun in the process. Learn the basics of visual game programming. By playing through the interactive lessons, kids can learn the basics of visual game programming. Not on colorful creatures with distinct personalities keep kids engaged through the lessons with tips and motivation messaging. With simple press of a button, swap between programming screen and the game screen. Watch how programming changes the game on the fly. Now let's take a closer look at Guilty Gear Strive. This is coming on PlayStation 5 and PC. The rating is teen. The content descriptions: blood, language, malicious themes, and violence. This is a fighting game in which players engage in one-on-one battles using human characters and biological weapons called gears. Players use punches, kicks, and various weapons to drain opponents' life meters. Each character can use special attacks that include bursts of flames, shadowy creatures, and blasts of energies. Impact sounds, cries of pain are heard throughout the matches. Blood splatter effects occur during combat, and one cutscene depicts a man's hand and chest impaled by a spike, resulting in brief blood splashes. Some female characters wear revealing outfits and are depicted with exaggerated sized breasts and/or brief jiggling effects. Some camera angles focus on characters' cleavages. Swear words are heard in the dialogue. And the last game on today's list is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This is coming to PlayStation 5. The rating is everyone 10 and up. The content descriptions: alcoholic references, animated blood, fantasy violence. This is an action game in which players assume the role of Ratchet and his friends as they battle evil forces across dimensions. From a third-person's perspective, players explore worlds, interact with characters, and battle stylized robots and aliens. Players used oversized blasters and ranged weapons, defeating enemies with fiery explosions, lighting, and plasma blast, and other effects. Players can also use a wrench for melee attacks at close range. Battles can be frantic with frequent explosions and waves of enemies attacking at once. Alien creatures sometimes emit multicolored splatters when hit. Thank you to bensound.com for the music track. Please follow Parents Guide to Games on YouTube at Parents Guide to Games, on Facebook at Parents Guide to Games, on Twitter at ParentsG2G, and email any questions or concerns at parentsg2g@gmail.com. And always, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.